So welcome have everyone to the third and final webinar of the co-host project. This webinar will be focusing on cultural heritage and the valorization through digital tools. Today with us, we have two speakers. One is Mr. Bojku from Kosovo, and the second one is Giorgia Marchionni from Italy. And we will start our webinar with a presentation from Mr. Bojku on cultural heritage. And then we will have Giorgia Marchionni speaking about a national project on accessibility and inclusion in museums. So I would like to ask Mr. Bojku to please take the floor. Thank you.
Thank you. Dear participants, it's a pleasure to be here today and to discuss such an important for cultural heritage and role of digital technologies in evaluation and promotion. As a beginning, I will just make a very short presentation of the Kosovo as a country of involved now in tourism. We are a young country in tourism, but we did very good steps in the last 10 years. And it's looked at the tourism is on a proper way, if I can say that. And every day more and more it's developed, and it's very helpful for our economy. Not only in our country, but because I'm talking now for Kosovo, it's just so it's something like the most focus in Kosovo is in tourism in Kosovo because of the geographical position. We are more focused in the mountain adventure tourism and cultural and historical tourism. It's important for us and for the present people just to know that our cultural tourism, it will be for sure much more better and much more rich if the war in Kosovo was not happening in 1999, but that was our luck. But thank God we are still have a lot of capacity to present to the world and to show to the number of tourists who are every day increase more and more every year. And about the digitalization of the cultural heritage, that I think it's good to split in the two groups. There are tangible heritage, that monuments, historical buildings, archaeological sites, documents, and artifacts. And intangible, like a language, tradition, custom, songs, and so many other things. This heritage represents not only the past, but it's our tool for sustainable economy, as I mentioned it in the beginning, and social development. In Kosovo, we have a rich heritage that includes historical sites like Prizren, UNESCO, monuments, cultural tradition. They are still alive and within our communities. For those who has information about cultural heritage in Kosovo, we have so many rich parts, objects, and starting from Neolithic times, a lot of museums, a lot of hammams from Ottoman Empire, and there are so many mosques and churches. We have a church that Orthodox church. They are very, very important, and I am not making any mistake if I say that they are the important points of the Orthodox believers in whole Balkan. That is the Patriarchy of Pea and the monastery of Dechani. They are in the Dugajini side, and of course we have others, other religion objects that are very important. What I can say from my experience that we try to work, and we try to increase, and we try to promote the historical side in a digital method of the presentation of tourism. That is that one of the main point, it was what pushed us to do that, it was a pandemic time. That is one of the first point what we did in our city, in historical museum in Pea, that we installed the program of the digitalization of museums, and we used that for 3 years, because as many of you knows that there are some programs, methods, and equipment. They are very, very expensive, and not every time we have chance to keep it for a long time, and not every time we have enough support to have that for a long time. We did that, as I said, for 3 years. And according to the staff in museum, what I also contact time by time, they said that it was very, very interesting, and so many people are visiting that through the digitalization of the program. That is one good side of the digitalization of presentation of cultural heritage. But we must keep in mind that it has also the risky part, or we need to find the way how to implement, what to present, how much we will present. I think it's a good way, and also what we agreed together with the staff in our municipality, in museum staff, and the people who was involved in the program of digitalization, not only for museum but also some other points. And we agreed that it's not the proper way if we will present everything what we have in our cultural heritage, that must be digitalized in a program. So we think that digitalization is part of the new world now, and we cannot escape that. But presenting of our capacity for tourism, we agreed that it must be in one percentage that will be enough to make people curious to visit our country. This was very important. This is one point why I mentioned this in museum, because the interesting of the people was quite enough big. But what I can say, for example, in a digitalization of this was part of the 3D scanning and showing the objects and so many things in museum. But in a part of audio guides, for example, just example with the audio guide we have for I don't know exactly how many years we have in the Patriarchy of Fea. And this I can explain you because I think it's very important for us to know that it's a kind of we can call a program or special tools, like everyone knows that audio guide will help and will show one by one, point by point to all the historical object or religion object, that doesn't matter what it is. But this is very important to know that for so many groups I follow, especially in Patriarchy of Fea, what is very, very important cultural and religion object in the Balkan. Not so many tourists like to do that. Most of them, I can say more than 90% of the visitors, they like to have a guide from the staff or local guides who will explain and discussing same time. This is exactly only from my experience. I don't want to say that the digitalization is good or not, but because it's my time now, and I will share with you this experience. It's another one that also it's audio guide what we installed, and when we work on the program with municipality and information point for tourism in Pea. Of course, first is equipment with very high cost, but anyway, we did it with support. It was more expensive for us to implement that, preparing the text from the special company, what the clients will check, will listen during the visit on one of the places for cultural or natural or doesn't matter what. Also in this point, I can say that not very much interest was from the. It was the one method that it's very automatized, that the clients will have the equipment and the place when they will visit, they will have I don't know exactly in English, but it's a special that can share the information about that area or that object or that what is in an automatic way. So the clients, when they go very close to that point, it starts immediately giving the information from the beginning. This, according to some clients, we ask time by time, it will be maybe more favorite method than taking the audio guide and putting in all the time in the ear and going one by one what is written in paper and blah blah, you know, because maybe this happened because of our marketing we did for around 10 years, that Kosovo is offering something what is still 100% natural. This is the most of the answer I received from my clients, my company. They are very happy to visit one place like Kosovo is, but not only, but it's also part of Montenegro and Albania. That is still, they can feel like doing the natural and or free tourism without using so much technology. Of course, they are using maps, they are using GPS, they are using paths and so many programs. We are offering them to make them easy, but still they are preferring to have a contact with people, a contact with locals, and receiving information from the, if I can say, from the original explanation, and receiving information about the one area or one cultural heritage or mountains, or doesn't matter what is, but they want to have contact with a guide, with a professional guide, that immediately they can make, they can hear the explanation of that part of the history, and they can make a conversation, they can make a question in the meantime. So this it was just my experience. What I think it's very important for this kind of a webinar, just to know. But we cannot escape from the way the world is going now in a digital technology. So 3D scanning is very important, because there are so many data in archaeology and in the museum, everything, but the objects don't exist, or just existing in some small percentage, like it's Ulpiana in Pristina. It's one of the oldest cities, and the 3D technology will create something that gave to us and to the tourist not maybe 100% view, but it will be very important things to see models of the buildings, model of the old church, and give to them one overview and opinion how this local people used to live before 1,000 years or less or more. And also what is very important, we implement also one program in a digital archives in one of the oldest mountain association we have in Peja, that in 2028 we will have 100 years, and we are still working on the project of the digitalization of the database, and all the materials we have and all the photos, very old photos, and it will be presented in our new mountain museum. We are just on the process building now. It will be finished before end of the year. I think with so many people we contact and explain this and show the samples, and show these samples to a small number of tourists, and they like so much because not everyone can have, for example, access in archive of the Mountain Association in Peja. So the presentation in a digital way, it will be more easy, and it will cut the time, make short time. So like, for example, 30 to 40 minutes, they can receive so many information, and they can see so many pictures presenting on the building of Mountain Association, what we are preparing to do. So I think this part of the digitalization is very, very important. I know it need to have a good support, because, to be honest, for this kind of projects, we as a Kosovo, we have not a good chance to have it. Because I know from these 3 points I mentioned until now that museum and audio guides for information in information point in Peja, and this digitalization of the history of the Mountain Association and mountain tourism in Peja, it needs a lot of money, and it's not easy for us to do. I think we will fight to find the support and develop a little bit more this way of promoting. I don't want to say that we will force this digitalization, or we will force the natural tourism, but it's very, very good to have. About the method, how we will present in the world market, so it's a group of people who will work together and choose how much the Kosovo will be present in digitalization in the tourism field. But for example, the platforms are a good thing for presentation, but Instagram, Facebook, maybe YouTube are more profitable. We have more.
Hi, excuse me, because like now it would be the time for maybe some Q&A, if some of the teachers who are with us, if you have any questions for Mr. Bojku. And I mean, of course, like first of all, I would like to thank you, mentor, for this presentation. And so I don't know if we have any specific questions or something you would like to ask to our first speaker. I mean, of course, like you can also use the chat if you prefer to ask questions. And if not, maybe I would suggest that we go to the second part of the webinar, because unfortunately time is running out, and we have a second speaker with us. And thank you again, mentor. And so before giving the floor to Giorgia Marchionni, our second speaker, we wanted to do like a quick interactive exercise with you all. And in order to do so, I will launch a Mentimeter. First of all, I will put the link to Mentimeter in the chat. But if you prefer, you can always also just like scanning the code we have here. Or if you prefer, you can just go to menti.com and using the code you see up here, so 15177186. And we just prepared a few questions for you, just very quick, just to break the ice before getting to the second topic, which is how we can have like how we can make museums accessible and inclusive. So if you could scan the code. Okay, so I still do not see many people joining the Mentimeter. Okay, but a few are replying. So our first question for you is how would you define accessibility? We have one option, organizing free events. Then we have the right or possibility to access a place or a resource, and then a special privilege given only to certain groups of people. So, so far, our 4 respondents are all answering the right or possibility to access a place or a resource. And I can see that this is the most popular answer. And of course, like this is the correct one. So accessibility is not like a privilege. I mean, it shouldn't be considered as a privilege given only to certain group of people, but it should just be like making everything accessible to the wider audience. Then the second question we have is, what is inclusion? So it could be the act of including an element within a group. Then we have putting people together according to a criteria and or not considering diversity. So our first responders, so we have the act of including an element within a group or a whole, or putting people together according to a criteria. So the majority here is going for the act of including an element within a group. And I do believe that this is maybe the more correct definition of inclusion, because like inclusion doesn't mean to like categorize people according to a criteria, but it is more how we include the more variety of people within the group or within the society. Then we have what is sustainability. So it might be the development capable of ensuring that the needs of the present generation are met without compromising the possibility of future generations. Development considering only the agricultural sector, or consistent ability to perform and meet one's functions or goals. And yeah, we have, again, the majority of people going for sustainability. So being sure that the needs of the present generation are met and the possibilities of the future generation can be met. Then, yeah, we would like to ask you to describe cultural heritage using one word. So what do you think of when you think of cultural heritage? So we have, first of all, museums. Beauty. Tradition. Then identity. Heart. Then what else do we have? So yeah, I would say that all the words we have in these slides are more or less like representing what cultural heritage is, because I mean, it is all about the identity, the culture, and the traditions we have. Then the final question we have before giving the floor to our second speaker is whether you have ever thought that cultural heritage could be a valuable tool for social inclusion. So if you think that through cultural heritage, we can foster somehow social inclusion. So the first response we have, yes, it is possible if we make cultural heritage accessible and inclusive. So I believe that by making it accessible and inclusive, we can foster, of course, like social inclusion. Then we have cultural heritage can bring people together by fostering a sense of belonging, mutual respect, and understanding across different backgrounds and needs. It is, of course, like important because it is the identity of the country. Then it can also be an important tool for social inclusion because it provides a shared sense of identity and belonging. And sorry, I cannot translate this one. If someone wants to maybe translate it, you're more than welcome.
I can.
Yeah.
The answer is yes, because it's the value of the culture within years. It tells the past of the country.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Albiona, for the translation. And then we have other answers coming. So it can help people understand the differences and similarities, finding common ground, which we do not think we might have. And finally, because if we share and celebrate cultural heritage, we can promote understanding among diverse groups and promote equality. So I would like to thank you all for this brief interactive exercise. And now I will pass the word to Giorgia, who will present a regional project she's in charge of. Thank you. Thank you, Giorgia.
Thank you. So good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. And thank you also for your participation in the Mentimeter. It was very useful for me to understand your opinion and point of view related to the topics of the Mentimeter, because the topics actually are related also to the project that I'm going to present to you. I am Giorgia Marchionni. I am the coordinator of the CRACK LAB, which is an NGO based in Italy. and I am also one of the project manager of the CRACK Lab. And my background is in the field of cultural heritage and management of the cultural heritage, in the field, especially in the field of social inclusion and accessibility. I'm going to present to you a very important project, and I have also a very short presentation. So I don't know, Elisabetta, if you can give to me the...
Yeah, sure. Sorry.
Thank you.
Now you can.
Thank you. If I find the presentation, oh, sorry, this is not the right. Okay, I think that you can see my screen probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so the project is called ArteMIA, which is an acronym of l'arte come mezzo per l'inclusione e l'accessibilità. That could mean in English something like arts as a tool for inclusion and accessibility. And we can say, promoting this project since 2022, and it comes from another European project. And the idea of the project comes from my personal idea of cultural heritage in general. For me, museums are cultural heritage places are my safe place, and usually I go in the museums or in the cultural heritage places not every day, but when I have time, but when especially when I have a very, we can say, complicated moment, or a need to be alone and think about something and find a solution for a very specific and complicated problem, we can say. And so this is my personal opinion related to the cultural heritage. And in the other hand, my work is to sometimes write, but in general manage European projects in the field of cultural heritage and welfare. So the idea was to put together these two things. So they think that for me, the cultural heritage is a safe place, and also the using, we can say, my work in order to create a project, and also to understand if the we can say, these good things of the cultural heritage, so the things that I can use the cultural heritage to to feel myself better, if there is also something that could work for other people, and also to use the cultural heritage as a tool to improve the quality of the life of the people with a specific condition. So I have started to work with people with cognitive disabilities, and I decided to create ArteMIA project with support of my colleagues of the project design team, and also the other people of the CRACK Lab. And the idea of the project was to, again, put together these two experiences, and to take the methodology from Axisi, which is an Erasmus project. And in the Axisi, we have created a methodology in order to involve people with cognitive disabilities in the exploration of cultural heritage places, creating a guide using the easy to read method. So in ArteMIA, we do more or less the same activities. So we go inside the cultural heritage places of Umbria region, which is the region where Foligno is based, and Foligno is a city where CRACK Lab is based. And with them, we discover the history, but also the artistical aspect of the cultural heritage places that we decide to discover and to create and to consider the protagonist of the guide. And so together we discover churches, abbeys, museums, archaeological sites, so all the cultural heritage places. We take the pictures during our visits, and we create together the text and the description of the places, to be sure that the texts are really accessible and are and also the information inside the text are correct, we not only write together the text, but also we do like a check, a revision of the text. So we take the text made with one of the group of participants, and we share the text with another group in order to be sure that everything is okay and everything it's easy to read. It's easy to read and it's really accessible. And at the end of the process, that's a very long process, we organize a final event in one of the cultural heritage places that we have put inside the guide. And during the event, people who already be part in the project, they have a guide, we can say, for a day. So during the final event, they present to the public the project, the guide, but also the some of the aspects of the place where the event is where we have the event. And we have done for the moment 3 ArteMIA projects. The first one was in the Museum of the Church of Foligno. And in this in the first edition of ArteMIA, we have done the easy to read guide, but also a photographic guide. And here you can see the partner, but also the founder of the project. The second one was the first one was at local level. The second one was at regional level. It's the third that you can see in the slide. It's about the it's like an itinerary, because we have choose 4 municipalities close to Foligno, and in this municipality they are under, we can say, the area of that's called the Sagrantino. So we have choose 4 of these municipality under the Sagrantino area, and in each municipality we have choose 2 cultural heritage places to discover and to make it accessible. The last one was about the contemporary art museums here in Foligno, and again, here we have done the same activities that we have done in the other ArteMIA. And now we are writing the 4th edition of the ArteMIA, that is about the tradition of olive oil and wine, because here in Umbrian region we are very famous for these enogastronomical elements, not only from the, we can say, enogastronomical and food point of view, but also from the traditional and cultural point of view. So the idea is to combine this tradition and create an accessible guide for this specific topic. And I would like to share with you, I think that, yeah, it's done. I would like to share with you also 2 very short video about the experience that we have done in the second ArteMIA, so in the ArteMIA in Sagrantino area. And the second video, it's about the experience that we have done in the Contemporary Art Museum in Foligno.
And sorry, Giorgia, can we have the videos like recorded, or do you prefer I post the presentation for, like?
Yeah, if it's possible to post it, yeah, because
yeah.
we
yeah,
have
no, that's what I was thinking. Okay, no problem.
So the last few things that I would like to share with you before to close my presentation are that, as you probably have the chance to see in the videos, the participants in the ArteMIA activities, actually they really understand the importance of the things that they are doing, because we have another ArteMIA, we are doing some activities of another ArteMIA now, but also the importance of the guides that they have made during the life of the project. They understand very well that they have created something really useful, not only for people with disabilities, but something useful for every kind of publics of the museums or the cultural heritage in general, because you have to consider that some of the places that you have seen in the video, they don't have any kind of guide or any kind of support to the visit or information, or maybe just a brochure. So the guides that we have done, they are, we can say, the official guide of the museums, church, abbeys, and all the places that we have included in ArteMIA. And also the project, it's really important because the participants really feel a part of societies. So they really feel that they are part of the society, that they have done something in public space and places, because sometimes we don't think to the concept that the museums, libraries, archives, they are part of, they are society places. The problem is that usually people don't think to the they don't have the idea that they can leave the museum as, I don't know, a public park, or go inside the library just to have a discussion about something, or just to spend a good time. So this is something that we have always to consider in our mind, also for a project, or also for to share the idea with other with the people. I know that you are teachers, so maybe it could be something really interesting also to share with your students and give to them this point of view about the cultural heritage. And also another thing that I really would like to outline is that I always speak about people with cognitive disabilities, but actually, and also you have seen the things in the video, in ArteMIA we have also involved blind people and deaf people, and it was really useful and interesting for us to understand what is the right way to involve them in our activities, and also how they live the cultural heritage, and how they what is the best way to involve them in the activities, not only for them, but in the activities for general public. And the last thing is I would like to share with you the CRACK LAB website, where you can find, if you want, the PDF of the ArteMIA guides. For the moment, we have only the Italian version, but we are working also into the English version. So this is the link, and we are uploading also the last guide. There is the guide about the contemporary art museums of Foligno. But yeah, in the website you can find all the guides, with also a very short description about the place that we have discovered in the guide, and a very short paragraph about also the topic behind the project. So that's it from my side.
Thank you. Thanks. Oh, sorry. Thanks a lot, Giorgia, for showing like this very nice example of how cultural heritage in general can be really like valorized through this inclusive and very engaging activities. I had the privilege myself to come to all the final events after each edition of the ArteMIA project, and they really I was very impressed, and they really meant a lot for our community. And as I anticipated in the chat, if you have like any specific question to either Ms. Marchionni or Mr. Bojku, you can use the chat, or you can open your mic. No, feel free to ask as many questions as you'd like. As I said at the beginning, the recording of the webinar will be uploaded in our YouTube channel and in the Moodle platform we have. And if we do not have any question, I will just ask you to quickly answer a brief evaluation form we create. For you, I just include share the link to the form in the chat. It is a very short one. So if you could provide your feedback on the event and how you liked it. Thanks.
Thank you, really. I just opened my mic because I want
yeah.
to say hello from Sarajevo. I'm Arnela, and I want to thank both for the effort and you also for the engaging presentations. Regarding the first one, I appreciate the introduction to the cultural heritage and the clear explanation, of course, of the various types. But the second one really captured my attention a lot because of the presentation style, the whole concept, and WIDOS, the whole project. So really, thank you. It was really, really great. You're welcome.
Thank you, Ernela. So you have all the references to the activities Georgia's organization, the CRACK Lab, is carrying out. So if you'd like, I don't know, Giorgia, if you could maybe also share a contact if someone would like to contact you directly for any additional questions or whatsoever, and of course, the same to Mr. Bojku, if you could share a contact email for the group. And so thank you all for attending this final webinar with us. Please remember to answer the evaluation form before leaving the meeting. And I would like once again to thank you all and wish you a very nice day. Thank you.